Philly batting order. Leading off and playing center field, Cookie Rojas. Batting second and playing right field, Johnny Callison. Batting third and playing third base, Richie Allen. Batting fourth and playing first base, Dick Stewart. Batting fifth and playing left field, Wes Covington. Batting sixth and playing second base, Tony Taylor. Batting seventh and catching, Gus Triandos. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Ruben Amaro. Batting ninth and pitching, Jim Bunning. Jim Bunning has a record so far this season of 1 win and 3 losses. For the New York Mets, leading off and playing third base, Bobby Clout. Batting second and playing second base, Ron Hunt. Batting third and playing right field, Johnny Lewis. Batting fourth and playing first base, Ed Craneville. Batting fifth and playing left field, Joe Christopher. Batting sixth and playing center field, Ron Swoboda. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, Roy McMillan. Batting eighth and catching tonight, Chris Canizero. Batting ninth and pitching, Warren Spahn, who has a record of 2 wins and 1 loss. The conference at home plate has broken up now. The umpires have taken the field. And as of this moment, right now, the New York Mets are in a tie for 9th place in the National League standing. That is by virtue of the fact that the Pittsburgh Pirates this afternoon were defeated. The New York Mets are on the field for the Philadelphia Phillies. Coaching at third is George Myatt. Coaching at first is Peanuts Lowry. Cookie Rojas steps into the batter's box to lead off. Rojas is a right-hand batter. He's playing center field. He's hitting .275. He has 3 doubles, 1 triple, and 1 run batted in. Facing left-hander Warren Spahn. Spahn tonight is going after the 359th victory of his fabulous National League career. He's won more games than any other left-handed pitcher in the history of baseball. Pitches outside for a ball. And Spahn is slowly closing in on the 6 right-handers who are ahead of him in the all-time winning list. He looks in to get a sign from Chris Canizero. Here is the 1-0 delivery. Swung on, hit in the air to right field. Deep to the right field corner. Johnny Lewis racing, gets there, makes the catch. Cookie Rojas, the right-hand batter, hit it deep to the opposite field in the corner. And Johnny Lewis had to use his speed to get over. Pull away, and now Johnny Callison coming up. Callison's hitting .194. He has 4 home runs and 12 runs batted in. Every time Warren Spahn makes a pitch, he sets some kind of a National League record or some kind of a Major League record. The pitch to Callison. He tries to drag butt to second base, and Hunt takes it, fires on, and in time, he got it. 2 away, nobody on base as Johnny Callison tried to drag the ball to get it by Spahn and make the second baseman field it, and he did, but Hunt fielded it in time. So there are 2 men out, and Richie Allen's coming up. He has hit safely in 11 consecutive games for the Phillies. Has a season's batting mark of .391. He has 5 home runs and 14 runs batted in. Rookie of the year last year in the National League. Here's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Among the National League batters, Richie Allen is number 2 as Ed Craneville leads the National League at bat with a mark of .394, and Richie Allen's hitting .391. Here's a pitch swung on, popped up to short right field. Johnny Lewis and Swoboda are there, and who's going to take it? Swoboda takes it in front of Johnny Lewis. Drives out in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, not allowed. Score at the end of a half inning is the Phillies nothing and the Mets coming to bat. Well, it's hard to imagine New York City without every kind of jazz from Dixieland to progressive. Fortunately, you don't have to. Listen.
That's Backstreet Rag, a uniquely American sound. It came up the Mississippi out of New Orleans with the Negro jazzmen who played it to the world. But they didn't stop with Dixieland and the blues. Little David a new generation. But whether it's the old jazz or the new, it's thirsty work for the musicians. And when they put down their instruments, they'll pick up a cold beer, often Rheingold extra dry. In fact, in New York City, where there are more kinds of jazz than in any other city in the world, more people drink Rheingold than any other beer. Why do so many people like Rheingold? We don't know, but we must be doing something right.
Going now to the bottom half of the first inning, and Bobby Klaus is up to lead off for the New York Mets. Klaus is hitting 162. He has one game-winning home run and 4 runs batted in. The American League at the end of 2 innings, Cleveland 4 and the Yankees nothing. Whitey Ford against Ralph Terry. Leon Wagner and Fred Whitfield have hit home runs in the first inning off Whitey Ford. First game for Toronto in Detroit at the end of 3.5 innings. The Chicago White Sox 2 and the Tigers nothing. Johnny Bazzard against Mickey Lolich. Skowron over in the second with nobody on for Chicago. Here's the pitch in for a called strike now to Bobby Klaus. Jim Bunning on the mound with a record of 1 win and 3 losses so far this season. There's a swing and a foul ball to the right side, now to play. Bunning is 33 years of age. He is 6 feet 3 inches tall, 201-pounder. Lived during the off-season in Fort Thomas, Kentucky, just across the river from Cincinnati. Last year, for the Phillies, Jim Bunning won 19 games and lost 8. Against the Mets last year, he won 5 and lost none. Here's a pitch, and it misses outside for a ball. And most notable of Bunning's achievements was a perfect game pitched against the New York Mets here at Shea Stadium last Father's Day. This is a 1-2 delivery. Low and away for a ball. It's 2-2 now. Ron Hunt on deck. There was only one afternoon game in the National League, and that was the game in which the Pirates were defeated by the Cubs. 2-2 pitch, and it misses high and away. The count goes full at 3-2. Phillies have Dick Stewart at first base tonight. They had Frank Thomas there last night. And they have Wes Covington in left field. They had Alex Johnson there last night. Mets started a left-hander last night also. They started Jackson last night, Spawn tonight. Here's a payoff pitch. Swung on, foul, back and out of play. Count holds at 3-2. Between 2 of baseball's outstanding pitchers, Jim Bunning, Warren Spahn. And there's plenty of room if you're in the vicinity and want to come out for the baseball game. Come on out because there's plenty of room for you. Here's a payoff pitch, and he walks in. Bunning brought the pitch in, but low, and Klaus goes to first with the base on balls, and that brings up Ron Hutt. Ron is hitting .412. 17 times, but he has 7 hits, 2 doubles, and 1 run batted in. Hunt is a right-hand batter. Bunning looks in to get a sign. Here's the pitch. It's in for a called strike. Johnny Lewis is waiting on deck, and now Gus Triandis goes out to have a word with his pitcher, Jim Bunning. Both Bunning and Spahn, of course, have no-hitters in their background. Spahn has had 2 no-hitters, and Bunning has had 2 no-hitters. No score in the game, and we're in the bottom half of the first inning. Looks down to Don Hefner, the Met coach at third, to get a sign. Yogi Berra on the coaching lines for the Mets at first base again tonight. As Yogi was catching last night, Wes Westrom was the coach at first. Klaus leads at first base, and the pitch is in for a call. Strike 2 to Ron Hunt. This broadcast of tonight's game is being beamed by Armed Forces Radio Service to the Caribbean area. So from all of us here, a salute to servicemen in the Caribbean. Here is the pitch, and it's bunted. Taken by Bunting. He's going to second base, and in time for the fourth there. Ruben Amaro took the throw as Ron Hunt bunted with 2 strikes. They got it a little far out to the mound. He is charged with the time at bat, as he is himself on after having forced Bobby Klaus. Play went 1-6 on Klaus, who had walked. And Johnny Lewis is up now. One away. Lewis is hitting .292. He has 1 home run and 8 runs batted in. Throw to first, not in time. Johnny Lewis is off to a fast start with the Mets. He played 40 games at the start of last season with the Cardinals. And he has scored more runs, 12, than he did with St. Louis in 40 games last year. Here's a pitch. In for a called strike. And Johnny Lewis has 6 doubles, 8 runs batted in, and 4 assists that top his record with the Cardinals last year in 40 games. Jim Bunting is one of those fellows who comes off of that mound way off balance on the first base side. He throws himself off the mound. Brings the throw in to the shortstop Amaro. Holding his Hunt. Johnny Lewis is on with a solid single to center, and the National League's leading batter, Ed Cranepool, is coming up. Cranepool hitting .394 with 3 home runs and 15 runs batted in. In to get a sign now from Gus Triandos, working off the stretch, and the pitch is inside for a ball. Joe Christopher is on deck now for the Mets. Ken Bunting is up and set. This pitch is inside, a little tight across the letters. It's 2-0. Temperature at game time, 57 degrees at Shea Stadium in New York. Pitch. Swung out, hit on the ground to second. Taken by Taylor, across to Amaro for 1. Throw to first, double play. So Cranepool has hit into a 4-6-3 double play. The side is retired. The Mets in the bottom of the first get no runs on 1 hit. No errors and 1 left. And the score at the end of 1 full inning is Phillies nothing and the Mets nothing. The Milwaukee Braves will be here Friday night, Saturday afternoon, a doubleheader Sunday. Then the Cardinals will come in next week, and so will the Cincinnati Reds. And if you'd like to get tickets, the advanced ticket window at Shea Stadium is open 7 days a week. It's open weekdays from 8 to 6 and weekends from 9 to 5. There is a Met ticket office in the Pennsylvania station. It's located in the Long Island Railroad waiting room, and it's open weekdays from 8 to 6 and Saturdays 8:30 to 4. There's a Met ticket office at the Grand Central Terminal. It's at the foot of the 42nd Street and Vanderbilt Avenue ramp. It's open weekdays 8 to 6 and Saturdays 8:30 to 4. And for Long Islanders, there is a Met ticket office at Macy's in Huntington. It is open during the regular store hours. And reservations can be made for box and reserve seats at any of the Howard Clothes stores in the greater New York area. Stewart's coming up. Stewart. You know, on television. television side, Ralph Kiner, on his pregame show, is certainly a man of tremendous courage because we looked down on the field there. He stood between Bo Belitsky and Dick Stewart.
Right between them, Lindsay, and didn't get hurt one time during the 15 minutes.
I want to tell you, that's some kind of risk to take.
I'll tell you, there's some kind of different people.
I've heard that said. Stewart's in and waiting now, right-hand batter, facing left-hand pitcher Warren Spahn. It's high for a ball.
Walensky was talking about his surfboard riding, and I said, well, isn't that sort of dangerous? He says, yeah, you can get cut in half, he said, but so what?
That's sort of his attitude, I think.
Easy come, easy go.
Why, sure. Stewart steps out for a moment. Bond sets again, and the 1-0 pitch. Outside for ball.
Stewart denied that he said that Mock was a lousy manager because he took him out of the lineup. He said he never said that statement.
Well, I read that statement in the paper. One of the baseball writers said he asked Stewart why he wasn't a lineup, and he said lousy manager and so on. Then arriving at the ballpark, I noticed that Stewart was closeted in a very closed conference with manager Gene Mock tonight.
They're in there for quite some time, and it's very confidential as to what went on. But I do know one thing. Stewart won out one way. He's back in the lineup.
Yeah, he is that. That's for sure. Bond looking to Chris Canizero to get a sign. And here is the 2-0 pitch. Line into left field for a base hit. Picked up by Christopher and played in. So Stewart is on at first with the first hit for the Phillies off Warren Spahn. It's a leadoff single here in the top of the second. And Wes Covington's coming up. Wes was not in the starting lineup last night. He did appear as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning and struck out. He has a batting average for the season of .216. 6 home runs and 11 runs batted in. Warren Spahn's first no-hitter was against the Philadelphia Phillies. His second no-hitter was against the Giants. Swing and a drive that is fouled on the right field line and out of play. Strike one. Spahn's 2 victories this season have been in route-going performances against the Los Angeles Dodgers in Los Angeles and the San Francisco Giants in San Francisco. Is playing behind the runner. Dick Stewart at first with left-hand batter Wes Covington up there. Here's a pitch inside. The Mets don't figure Stewart will be running anyway. Of his many fine qualities, speed is not one of them. Has a record of 7 years in the major leagues, having stolen 1 base. Low for a ball.
That must have been on a missed hit and run sign.
I was about to say, that's amazing. In view of the fact that you get stolen bases on all sorts of circumstances, missed hit and runs, a ball thrown into center field, all sorts of ways you can really get credit for one without actually stealing it.
Could be on the back end of another steal.
Yes, very well be. It's 2-1 pitch. That's up high. And it's 3-1 out of Covington. Spahn's taking a moment now. Goes to the rosin bag. He's gone behind to Covington, and Tony Taylor's on deck. Nobody out here in the top of the second. Covington goes to first with the base on ball. And that brings up Tony Taylor. Taylor's hitting .284, 1 home run, and 6 runs batted in. Richards at second, Covington at first, and nobody out. Let's bring third baseman Bobby Clausen even with the edge of the grass at third. They have Craneville playing in front of the runner at first base now to protect against the possibility of the bunt here. No score, top of the second. The pitch swung on and foul off down the right field line. Johnny Lewis crosses the line in foul territory. Makes the catch. Stewart tags and is going to third. Here's the throw coming across, and he is safe as the throw is off the line. Throw was on the home plate side about 4 or 5 feet, and Stewart tagged at second and moved on to third after the catch. So there's one man out as Taylor fouled out to right field. And Gus Triandos is coming up with runners at first and third. Triandos is a right-hand batter. He has been up 25 times and had one hit. It was a double, and he batted in a run. He is batting .040. Spahn checks the runners, and the pitch is in for a called strike to big Gus Triandos. Covington at first. That pitch is a little high for a ball. It's 1-1. The screen atop the scoreboard in right field is flashing color headshots of each of the batters as he comes up. Both the Phillies and the Mets. That occurs at each of the night games here. Here's a pitch, and it's swung on and missed. We jammed Gus a little bit and had him sort of handcuffed as he came around. It's 1-2. You know the Mets have won 7 games this year, and 6 of them have been by 1 run. 1-2 pitch. Little low, and it's 2-2 to Triandos. Never won a game in this ballpark. Here's 2-2 pitch. And it just missed. So it's 3-2 now to Triandos. So with one man out, the Phils have runners at first and third. The count has gone 3-2 to Triandos at the plate, and Ruben Amaro is on deck. Triandos with the bat caught. Covington goes, swing and a miss, and there goes the throw to second. Covington stops, and he's in a rundown. And now Stewart is waiting to start a break, and now Stewart is caught in the rundown. As Craneville cuts across and running him back to third, and now he is tagged out by Klaus at third base. So it goes 2-4, 3-5, and the side is retired on a double play. A strikeout double play as Triandos struck out. They had the runner Covington going. He was caught in a rundown to try to give Stewart a chance to break, but that takes some time. And so when he finally did, Craneville cut across, had him in a rundown, ran him back to third, and made the play for the final out of the inning. That is retired in the top of the second with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left, and the score at the end of an inning and a half is the Phils nothing and the Mets nothing. You want to get better performance from your car? Listen to this.
The sound of power? Don't you believe it. That car is trying to warn you that it may be dangerous to drive. Here's a tip from local Shell dealers on what this warning can mean and what to do about it.
That was a car with a leaking muffler.
It's not only annoying, it may even be illegal, and it is always dangerous. That's because a leaking muffler releases harmful exhaust gases. These gases can then seep into the passenger compartment, where they can make you ill, or even drowsy at the wheel.
So if you suspect a leaking muffler, take your car into your Shell dealer right away for a check of the exhaust system. Let him make the needed repairs. And soon a car that sounds like this will sound like this. That's the real sound of safe power. The sound you want to hear from your car. Remember, at Shell stations, service is our business.
Joe Christopher's up and the pitch is in for a call, strike one. Now Bunning into the windup, and the pitch swung on and missed. It's strike two to Joe Christopher. Leading off for the Mets here in the bottom half of the second inning. Waiting on deck is Ron Swoboda. Running Benson to waste and getting a side. And the pitch is high for a ball. It's 1-2. Christopher's hitting .208 for the season. He has 1 home run and 7 runs batted in. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, struck him out. Bunning gets his first strikeout of the night. One away, and Ron Swoboda is coming up. Ron's hitting .295. 5 home runs and 10 runs batted in. And Swoboda gets a hand here from the Mets fans. Running with the pitch. Swung on and hit in the air to center field. Rojas is there, and he makes the catch. So Swoboda lines out on the first pitch. 2 away, and Roy McMillan's the batter. McMillan's hitting .197. He has 4 runs batted in. He had 2 doubles. Pitch to the right-hand batter, and it's in there for a called strike. Canizero has moved out to the on-deck circle. In the National League, Ernie Banks of the Cubs is leading in runs batted in. He's off to a great start. He's batted in 23 runs. Gordon Coleman of the Reds has batted in 16, and so has Vada Pinson of the Reds. And then comes Ed Cranefield of the Mets with 15. Richie Allen of the Phillies with 14 runs batted in. Here's a swing and a high pop to short center. Ruben Amaro, the shortstop, goes out and calls, and he makes the catch. So the sides out quickly in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left to score at the end of 2 innings is the Phillies nothing and the Mets nothing. The Milwaukee Braves will be here on Friday night. Bob Sadowski is going to be their pitcher, opening up on Friday night. And then they'll be here on Saturday afternoon, a ladies' day attraction, and it'll be a Sunday doubleheader between the Braves and the Mets. And then on Tuesday night, May 11th, the St. Louis Cardinals, the defending world champions, will be here. And they'll be here again on Wednesday afternoon, the 12th. And then that following weekend, starting on Friday night, the 14th of May, the Cincinnati Reds will be here. They're off and running in this National League race. They'll be here Friday night, the 14th, Saturday afternoon, the 15th, and the doubleheader on Sunday, May 16th. Tickets are now on sale for all those games to be played here at Shea Stadium. As in the homestand, still coming, the Milwaukee Braves, the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Cincinnati Reds. We're going to the top half of the third inning. We've been talking a lot about National League leaders, National League records, and a fellow whose name is written all over the National League record book is here now to take you along, Ralph Kiner.
Oh, thank you, Lindsay, and hi there, everyone. First man up for the Phillies against Warren Spahn will be Ruben Amaro, batting in the 8th batting position, the right-hand batter. And he's batting for the first time. Spahn with the first pitch, a fastball high, ball 1. Ruben Amaro, and then Jim Bunning, followed by Cookie Rojas. Bunting in the on-deck circle, or just outside the on-deck circle, taking some vicious swings with the heavy bat. The 1-0 pitch is fouled away. So they count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, in contrast to last night, this crowd here today, or tonight, wearing overcoats and topcoats. A little bit chilly. Last night, shirt sleeve crowd. 1 ball, 1 strike. Warren Spahn tearing in for the signs from Chris Canizero. And the left-hander now into the windup and back again. And the ball again is fouled away. Ball coming off to the right side, going into the lower stand. So Warren has accounted 1 ball and 2 strikes. Spahn has not struck out anyone in this ball game. He has struck out more men than any pitcher in the history of the National League. 2,509. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch back is low, ball 2. Should correct myself. He did strike out 1. It was a strikeout double play, Gus Triando. So he has 2,510 strikeouts in his Major League career. Here's the 2-2 delivery. It's lofted into center field. Ron Svoboda waiting now. Moves over to his right and makes the catch. So while we wait for Jim Bunting to come up, we'll pause now for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
810 on your dial, WGY Schenectady, the smoothest sound around, the voice of the Mets in the great Northeast.
Ralph Kiner along with Lindsey Nelson and Bob Murphy from Shea Stadium. No score in the game, 1 away, top of the 3rd. And the first pitch to Bunting is in there for a called strike. Bunting with 1 hit and 10 times up this season. He'll give you a good battle at the plate. Good hitting pitcher. Now the 1 strike count. He fouls it off, and it is strike 2. Fine play in the ball in the stand, catching the little round pellet on the fly. Warren Spahn in front 0-2 on Jim Bunting. Bunting a right-hand batter. Mets set toward right field against him, and the pitch back to him is low, ball 1. Home plate umpire, John Kibler. Spahn's already had some talking with him. That was on Wes Covington when he tossed him a very slow changeup. Now at 1-2, the pitch back by Spahn. Looked at, strike 3. Oh, Warren Spahn, his second strikeout, his second out here in the top of the 3rd. And it brings up the top of the batting order for the second time. Cookie Rojas stepping in. Cookie flat out to right field his first time up. Batting at .268, a right-hand batter. Cookie filling in center field, and he hits the first pitch down the 3rd. A 2-hopper for Bobby Krause. He underhands to first base and tying the side. Warren Spahn going 1-2-3 in the top of the 3rd, and the score at the end of 2 1/2. The Phillies nothing, the Mets nothing. Say, if you're wondering what kind of song goes with Sopasate and Salchichi, listen to this.
Facete Mamita is sure to be sung when Italian Americans get together, and spicy pizza rustica will be served. The inevitable result is a fiery thirst. This song brings on the beer, probably Rheingold. In New York City, where there are more Italians than in Naples, more people drink Rheingold Extra Dry than any other beer. And Rheingold is going great in New Jersey, New England, and Pennsylvania, too. Why do Italian Americans like Rheingold? We don't know, but we must be doing something right.
Bottom half of the 3rd, the Mets nothing, the Phillies nothing, and batting for the Mets as the leadoff batter against Jim Bunting, and this inning is Chris Canizero. batting 140. He has 6 hits and 43 times up, a right-hand batter. And Bunning with his first pitch, a sidearm fastball that spikes at the second baseman. Second baseman Tony Taylor making sort of a halfway jump, hauling that ball down for out number 1.
Pitcher number 21.
That brings up Warren Spahn. Warren 2 for 10, batting 200, a good hitting pitcher, a left-hander. Has hit 36 major league home runs. And the first pitch to him is hit through the middle. It could go through, coming over the shortstop. He hauls it in. The throw to first base is in time. Ball was hit too easily. And Ruben Amaro fielded that ball right back at second base. And Warren Spahn not running too hard, but throwing out at first. So on 2 pitches, Jim Bunning has 2 men away, and it brings up Bobby Klaus. Bobby walked his first time up. Right-hand batter hitting 162. No score in this game, both sides with 1 base hit. And Bunning with his first pitch. Klaus takes it, it's a called strike. Bobby taking all away to try and make Bunning work a little more than get out with just 3 pitches in 1 inning. 1 straight count on Bobby Klaus, the on-deck batter, Ron Hunt. And now Bunning back, and a curveball is looked at, this time on the outside corner, strike 2. Mets won the first game of this 2-game series by a score 2-1 behind Al Jackson last night. Al setting a new club strikeout record of 11. It was a thrill-back ball game. Now 2 strikes, the ball hit weakly down to third. Picked up by Richie Allen. He goes to first base in time for the out to retire the side. So 1-2-3 for the second inning in a row for Jim Bunning. And the score at the end of 3, the Phillies nothing, the Mets nothing. Now here's Lindsey Nelson for another unusual fact from the Viceroy Hall of Records.
Let me tell you about a fellow who played ball back in the 80s. His name was Old Hoss Radford. And in a single season, he played first base, second, third, shortstop, and the outfield. And incidentally, he pitched too. Matter of fact, as a pitcher, Old Hoss won 60 games that year. Now here's the story of another winner, Viceroy. Viceroy's got the filter for the taste that's right. If you're a filter smoker and you try smoking all 7 leading brands, you'll find some taste too strong, as if they didn't even have a filter. And some other brands taste too light. They never seem to satisfy your taste. But you take Viceroy now. Viceroy is not too strong and not too light.
It's the top of the 4th in a very fast-moving game. No score as Warren Spahn duels Jim Bunning. Both pitchers have pitched 2 no-hit games in their major league careers. In this ball game, they've both given up 1 hit. Warren will pitch to Johnny Callison as his first man. Johnny tried to beat out a bunt his first time up, was thrown out by Ron Hunt. Left-hand batter. And the first pitch to Callison is high, ball 1. Callison batting 192 in 18 ball games. 14 hits and 72 times up. 4 of the hits have been home runs. And he comes back with a curve to Callison. It's fouled away. Johnny out in front of a slow curveball, and the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bills no runs, 1 hit. They picked up their base hit in the second when Dick Stewart led off with a single to left field. Mets have no runs and 1 hit. They got their 1 hit in the first inning when Johnny Lewis singled through the middle. Now Spahn into that big windup and back again. And it's in there. Looked at, strike 2, and Callison was bunting but took the pitch. So it's 1-2. Ron Hunt playing a deep second base. Callison has good speed, is a fine defensive ball player, and also was second in the league last year in the most valuable player ballot. Ken Boyer, the winner. Now here's Spahn again into the windup and back to the left-hand hitter, and he fouls it off. Ball going over the top of the screen, and it's a holding count of 1-2. Boyer, incidentally, out of the lineup for the St. Louis Cardinals. He has some type of back problem. Cincinnati and the Dodgers tied for first place in the National League. Playing at 667, 12 wins and 6 losses. Now Spahn at 1-2. And it hits him. All inside tight. A fastball just glancing off the arm of Johnny Callison. He gets first base the hard way. Second time in the game that the Phillies have had the lead batter on at first base with no one out. And it brings up Richie Allen. Allen was out to the center fielder, Ron Swoboda, his first time up. Right-hand batter who has hit in 11 consecutive games. He's batting .386 with 5 home runs and 14 runs batted in. And the first pitch. It is too low for ball 1. Allen making his throw to bunt, but taking the pitch below the knees. One ball, no strikes. Mets outfield playing straight away and deep. And the next pitch is bunted to the right side foul. Allen scoring around and bunting as though to get on. No one out in the top of the 4th inning, no score in the game. Richie Allen, the Rookie of the Year of the 1964 season. And the 1-1 delivery. Bunted this time to the third base side. A good bunt picked up by Krause. He has to go to first base to Cranepool for the out. Moving down to second on the sacrifice, Johnny Callison. Gene Mark has one of his big power men bunting here in the 4th inning. And now with the runner at second base, the batter will be Dick Stewart. Dick with the only hit off of Warren Spahn so far. He singled to left field. The base hit by Stewart was his 12th this year. He's batting at .231 with 2 home runs and 8 runs batted in. Dick did not play in last night's game. Frank Thomas was the first baseman. Frank was 1 for 4 in the game. Pitch to Stewart is hit deep to center field, way high, and a lot of room for Ron Swoboda to get under. He's under. Tagged up at second base is Johnny Callison. Swoboda's long throw to third is offline, and Callison goes into third. So a long, deep fly ball, 385 feet away or so. And the Phillies now have a runner at third base with 2 men away, and the batter coming up is Wes Covington. Wes walked his first time up. He's batting .216, made a very important out for the Mets. Caused last night when he grounded out to second base for the final out of the game. At the time, the Phillies had the tying run on the base. Wes was inserted in the game last night as a pinch hitter. And the first pitch to the left-hand batter is taken low. It's ball 1. Wes has 6 home runs. He came here tied for the league lead in home runs with Willie Mays, but Willie had one last night to take the National League lead with 7. Covington was tied with Eddie Matthews. Behind these two, Swoboda and Allen, along with McCovey with 5. Change up, hit foul. Covington way out in front, pulling the ball foul into the stands on the right field side. So the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Phillies nothing, the Mets nothing. The Phillies are the runner at third base, 2 men away in the top of the 4th. Spahn into the windup and back to the plate. It's bunted foul. Covington trying to bunt his way on and get the run in from third, and the ball is fouled over the top of the catcher's head and back near the screen. Ball not high enough for Chris Cannizzaro to even make a try for. On the pitch, Johnny Callison was breaking down the line at third. Well, it's pretty hard to fool a fellow like Warren Spahn when he has the experience he has. Warren wasn't bothered at all by Callison breaking down the line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Warren paying some extra attention to Callison at third. Here's the 1-2 delivery. It's swung on and missed, strike 3, and it retires the side. Third strikeout for Warren Spahn. No runs, no hits, no errors. A hits batsman. And 1 man left on base. And the score at the end of 3 1/2. The Phillies nothing, the Mets nothing. Yet see vote isn't something you roll or sail. You sing it like this.
Is a song that gets sung over and over at Polish parties and picnics until the singers raise a fearful thirst. Then they change their tune.
On the line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Warren paying some extra attention to Callison at third. Here's the 1-2 delivery. It's swung on and missed, strike 3, and it retires the side. Strikeout for Warren Spahn. No runs, no hits, no errors. A hits batsman. And 1 man left on base. And the score at the end of 3 1/2. The Phillies nothing, the Mets nothing. Yet see vote isn't something you roll or sail. You sing it like this.
Is a song that gets sung over and over at Polish parties and picnics until the singers raise a fearful thirst. Then they change their tune. Piwo is the traditional Polish call for beer, and often it's Rheingold Extra Dry they call for. In fact, in New York City, where there are more Poles than in all of Świdnica, more people drink Rheingold than any other beer. And Rheingold is going great in New Jersey, New England, and Pennsylvania, too. Why do Polish Americans like Rheingold? We don't know. But we... And often it's Rheingold Extra Dry they call for. In fact, in New York City, where there are more Poles than in all of Świdnica, more people drink Rheingold than any other beer. And Rheingold is going great in New Jersey, New England, and Pennsylvania, too. Why do Polish Americans like Rheingold? We don't know. But we must be doing something right.
For the New York Mets, Ron Hunt, Johnny Lewis, and Ed Greenpool against Jim Bunning here in the bottom half of the 4th. Either team scoring, so Ron now to lead off for the second time. And his first pitch not time called as Ron steps back out of the batter's box. Bunning was all set to throw. And evidently Gus Riandos complained about the fact that Ron was too deep in the batter's box. Now the first pitch, fastball popped up in the shallow center field. Coming in center field to call for the ball to make the catch, Cookie Rojas. While on one pitch, Jim Bunning picked up Ron Hunt to center field. In the 3rd inning, he got the first 2 batters in one pitch and then threw 3 pitches to the 3rd batter, Bobby Klaus. Now the batter, Johnny Lewis. Johnny with the only base hit for the Mets. Both teams with 1 hit and no score. Johnny singled to center field. He tries a bunt and bunts it high in the air. Jim Bunning coming across the line to make the catch. Jim catching the ball in foul territory, and again, 1 pitch. So Bunning getting the most of his pitches. Not working too hard here. They come out to Shea Stadium for the AFL-CIO Salute to Labor. That's a doubleheader between the Mets and Cincinnati on Sunday, May 16th. Call 989-4070 for ticket information. This brought to you by Rheingold Brewery. And the first pitch to Cranepool, inside, ball one. So once again, Mets making Bunning pitch after picking up 2 outs on 2 pitches. No strikes. And the pitch back to the plate, outside, ball 2. Bunning had retired 5 batters on only 7 pitches prior to Ed Cranepool. Now 2-0 on Cranepool. Ed hit into a double play his first time up, and he takes a strike. It's strike 1. Change of pace by Bunning on the outside corner. Ed batting .389. He's still ahead of the second man on the list of top hitters in the National League, Richie Allen, who's batting .386. There's a high fly ball to center field. Coming over Cookie Rojas. Also Johnny Callison. Rojas calls and makes the catch, and that retires his side. 1-2-3 once again for Jim Bunning. That's 3 in a row for him. And the score at the end of 4, the Phillies nothing, the Mets nothing. Now, once again, Lindsey Nelson.
All right, Ralph, the brand new 1965 Mets yearbook is fresh off the presses and all ready for the Met fans. It has all the up-to-date facts and figures on the Mets, plus 258 action photographs. The book includes the lifetime records of all the Mets, including the first-year Mets. And as a special extra, there's a full squad picture on the back cover that's suitable for framing. There's a special section on new Mets, Yogi Berra and Warren Spahn, 2 of the all-time greats of the game, and plenty of pictures of them. So to get the new 1965 Mets yearbook, all you have to do is send in 50 cents to Met Yearbook, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York. To repeat, Met Yearbook, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York. Top half of the 5th inning, and Tony Taylor is up to lead off for the Philadelphia Phillies. He's been up one time, and he fouled out to right field. Warren Spahn on the mound for the New York Mets. 4 inning totals for the Phils. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. For the Mets, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Ball is bunted down the first base line. Cranepool gets the ball, gets to the bag ahead of Taylor, and he's out, trying to bunt his way on. He goes to Cranepool unassisted. And that will bring up Gus Triandos, who's been up one time and struck out into a strikeout double play. In the National League this afternoon, the Chicago Cubs beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 3-1. Bob Buell all the way to get the win, and Vernon Law took the loss. Roy Pace in the 7th, Wood in the 8th, Sisk in the 8th. Pagliarone had an 8th inning home run for the Pirates. The pitch to Triandos is in there for a called strike. In Milwaukee tonight, at the end of 3.5 innings, the Houston Astros nothing and the Milwaukee Braves nothing. Dick Farrell going for Houston and Wade Blassingame for Milwaukee. Here's a pitch, breaking ball low. 1-1 to Triandos. The Dodgers are in Cincinnati, and a game that'll start a little later. And the Giants are in St. Louis in a later start, but we have the warm-ups. Bob Henley for the Giants, and Tracy Stallage going tonight for the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's a swing and a fly ball to right. Johnny Lewis is there, and he makes the catch. 2 away, and Ruben Amaro's coming up. He's been up one time and lined out to center. In the American League, going to the bottom half of the 7th inning, it's Cleveland 4 and the Yankees nothing. Whitey Ford started for the Yankees, relieved by Blanco in the 6th, and Ralph Terry's going for Cleveland. Leon Wagner and Fred Whitfield hit home runs off Ford in the 1st inning. They're playing a twilighter in Detroit, the White Sox and the Tigers. Here's a pitch high for a ball. At the end of 6 innings, it's the White Sox 3 and the Tigers nothing. Johnny Bazard going for Chicago. Mickey Lolich started for Detroit. McLean in the 6th inning. Moose Scowen home in the 2nd with nobody on for the White Sox. Swinging a ground ball to short. McMillan charges up with it. Cuts it loose in time. Throw on the side is retired. No run, no hits, no errors, none left. Score at the end of 4.5 innings. The Phils nothing and the Mets nothing, and now it's time for another unusual unusual fact from the Viceroy Hall of Records. Here's what happened one 4th of July when the weather provided the fireworks. It was back in 1933 in Gallup, New Mexico. A game was held up because it was just too hot to play ball. And then 2 hours later, the same game was called off completely. Hot weather? No, sir, a snowstorm. Let's get away from the weather now and find out whether you tried Viceroy. Because when you do try them, you just gotta like them. You see, Viceroy is specifically designed to taste the way you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. Not too strong like some brands that taste as if they didn't have a filter, and not too light like others. You know the kind. They just don't seem to satisfy your taste. But Viceroy is not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the filter for the taste that's right.
Be here for a night game next Tuesday, starting at 8 o'clock, and a single game next Wednesday afternoon, starting at 2 o'clock. Tickets for all these games are on sale now at the advance ticket window located on the lower level behind home plate.
Joe Christopher is up and the pitch is low and away for ball one. Christopher leading off for the Mets here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. He's been up one time and he's struck out. Again, Jim Bunning with the pitch, and it's in for a called strike, 1-1. Swoboda is waiting on deck. The 1-1 delivery, and it's fired low for a ball, 2-1. Jim Bunning and Gus Triandos, who formed the battery here tonight for the Phillies, came to the Phils before the start of last season from Detroit. And the deal that sent Don Demeter from Philadelphia to Detroit. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Jammed him a little. 2-2. Jim Bunning has a record against the Mets of 5 wins and no losses. They have never been able to beat him. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and hit off the plate. A roller down the third base line. Fair hand play by Allen, and he beats it for a base hit. Joe Christopher bounced that one right off the plate down the third base line and beat it out for a base hit as Richie Allen tried the bare hand play. But at first base, Stewart had to come off the bag to take the ball, and Christopher is on. Have a leadoff base hit, and here is Juan Swoboda. Swoboda's been up one time, and he flied out to center field. And the Mets fans here at Shea Stadium come alive now at the bottom half of the 5th inning. Bunning sets and deals, and the pitch misses outside for a ball. Out of the batter's box to look down to sign that. Don Hefner coaching at third. Now Bunning with the pitch, and it is bunted foul as the sacrifice was on, and Swoboda tried the bunt and fouled it right down into the dirt. It's 1-1. Roy McMillan is on deck. Takes his lead at first as Dick Stewart holds against the runner there. Now Bunning with the 1-1 delivery, and it's swung on and popped up to the right side. Tony Taylor is there. And he lets it drop. Picks it up, throws on, and forces Christopher, and Swoboda becomes the runner at second. He got underneath and just took his hands out of the way, let it fall, and then scrambled over to get it, and He raced Christopher, who is considerably faster than Swoboda, to take him off the baseline. So Swoboda becomes the base runner, and Christopher is fourth. Roy McMillan is the batter. He's been up one time, and he popped out to short. Checks, Swoboda leads, and here's the pitch. It's in there for a call strike. Throw to first, and Swoboda is back safely, sliding in. Strike one count, and that sends Triandos out to have a conference with Jim Bunning. And as they talk, we're going to talk. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
810 on your dial, WGY Schenectady, the smoothest sound around, the voice of the Mets in the great Northeast.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner at Shea Stadium in New York. The Phillies and the Mets, nothing, with the Mets batting in the bottom half of the fifth with one man out and the runner at first. And a strike one count to Roy McMillan. Bunning's pitch with the runner going is swung on and hit down into the dirt. A fair ball. Throw goes to first, and it's in time. Plate umpire called it a fair ball, and the umpire at first called it a foul ball, so now it's been called a foul ball, and that'll bring them back. The umpire at first, Frank Stacori, made the foul sign at exactly the same moment that John Kivner, the plate umpire, who was right on top of it, called it a fair ball. So quickly, they got together, and it's a foul ball, and it'll bring McMillan back. Two-strike count. Hit and run was on, and McMillan just dribbled it right out in front of the plate. Takes his lead. Pitch to McMillan, misses low for a ball. It's 1-2. Chris Cannizzaro is waiting on deck for the Mets. Bunning's pitch. Swung on and fouled off. It was a breaking ball, and McMillan just got enough of it to foul it back into the seats. 2-1. I check it 1-2. Down to one knee, and he tried to lurch back into the bag to evade the tag of Stewart, but he is picked off. Jim Bunning found the young fellow Ron Swoboda leaning in the wrong direction, and when Swoboda saw that he was going to be cut and trying to make his move back, he slipped down to one knee and then tried to lurch back under the tag of Stewart, but he is picked off. There are two men out, and the count to McMillan is 1-2. Score in this game. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. And Bunning gets his second strikeout. The side is out with no runs, one hit, no errors, and none left. And the score at the end of 5 full innings is the Phillies nothing and the Mets nothing. Well, you've heard the rousing Meet the Mets song many times, I'm sure. It's played here at Shea Stadium by Jane Jarvis on the organ before every game. It's played a great deal on radio and television, and it's played at all the Met rallies and parades. And now it's available on record so that you can have it in your own home. Only $1 gets you a professionally recorded, high-fidelity copy of the Meet the Mets song with complete lyrics. Just send your $1 to Mets Song, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York. That's $1 to Mets Song, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York. The ground crew is out now, working on the infield in accordance with National League rules. Enjoy the game with the Viceroy. Viceroy's got the filter for the taste that's right. The Phillies will have Jim Jim Bunning up to lead off in the top of the sixth. 5-inning totals. For the Phillies, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. For the Mets, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Warren Spahn and Jim Bunning locked up in a tremendous pitching duel here tonight at Shea Stadium in New York. And this broadcast is being beamed on through the Caribbean by Armed Forces Radio Service tonight. We hope you're enjoying it there. Canizaro calls time and runs up the first base line to do a little groundskeeping. A little rubber ball that was thrown on the field, and he fires it into the dugout. And Bobby Klaus comes out to do about the same thing, and now Canizaro has to come out and do it again. We'll be set to go here in a moment. And the pitch to Bunning, and it's outside for a ball. Bunning has had 1 hit this season. He is batting .091. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and hit deep to right. Johnny Lewis racing way back, and it's over his head, and it is a home run for Jim Bunning. Into the bullpen in right field. The first extra base hit of the season for Bunning. The second hit of the season for him as the Phillies take a 1-0 lead on a home run by pitcher Jim Bunning and an opposite field home run at that. Now with nobody out, it is Cookie Rojas up. He has slid to right and grounded out third to first. Pitch to the right-hand batter is low for a ball. Bunning hit that ball to right. It was obvious it was going to be deep, and Lewis started back, and then the ball sailed over his head and barely cleared the fence going into the Met bullpen right over the 358-foot side. There's a swing and a high fly to short center. Coming in is Swoboda. He is called, and he makes the catch, a basket catch. Give you a thrill or two. There's one away, and Johnny Callison's coming up now. Nothing for one and hit by pitch ball. Callison in and waiting as Warren Spahn reads the sign of Chris Canizaro. That pitch is low for a ball. It's 1-0. Spahn starts the motion. The 1-0 delivery. Swung on and hit deep to right, but curving foul, and it is a foul ball landing in the Loge deck down in the right field corner. 1-1 now to John Callison. The Phillies have taken a 1-0 lead here on the top of the sixth. Pitch swung on and missed. 1-2. The home run by Jim Bunning was only the fourth of his entire major league career. It was career home run number 4 for Jim Bunning. Spahn looks for the sign. And this is a 1-2 pitch. Swung on and hit in the air to right. Johnny Lewis coming on, and he makes the catch. Two away, and Richie Allen's coming up now. He has fired the Southern sacrifice so far. Allen hitting 386 at this moment. Those figures courtesy of our demon statistician, Matt Winnick. And the pitch is inside for a ball. Dick Stewart's waiting on deck now for the Phils. 1-0 delivery. Missed it high and away. It's 2-0 now to Richie Allen. Concluding game of the two-game series with the Phillies. The Mets are off tomorrow, and the Milwaukee Braves are in Friday night. There's a swing number down the third base line. It'll be a tough chance for Klaus, and he can't play it. He's a base hit. Richie Allen is on. Klaus had only one play, a barehand play. He tried it, didn't come up with the ball, and it's doubtful that even if he had, he would have been able to do anything with the speedy Richie Allen. So Richie Allen keeps his hitting streak alive at 12 consecutive games now. Gets his batting average back up to 394. Ed Craneville is batting 384 at this moment. Dick Stewart is coming up now. He had a single to left, the first hit for the Phillies off Spawn tonight, and he flied to center. With a runner at first. Vaughn checks and deals a pitch to Stewart that is low for a ball. Richie Allen checking with Coach Peanuts Lowry at first base. Now takes his lead. And here's a throw over. He's back safely. The Phillies won and the Mets nothing. 1-0 pitch. Swung out and hit deep to left, and Christopher now retreats into the warning track. He is there near the wall and makes the catch. He one-hands the ball at the wall. So the side is out. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. Scored you into 5.5 innings. The Phillies won and the Mets nothing. And if somebody offers you Hasapico, don't eat it. Dance it like this.
The Hasapico is spirited and lively. It makes Greek Americans feel like dancing. And dance they do. Until they work up a fearful thirst. Then they call for different music. Nina Nai Nai is music a Greek drinks to. He'll sit down, call for a beer, probably wrangled extra dry. In fact, in New York City, where there are more Greeks than in all of Sparta, more people drink Rheingold than any other beer. And Rheingold is going great in New Jersey, New England, and Pennsylvania, too. Why do Greek Americans like Rheingold? We don't know, but we must be doing something right.
We're going now to the bottom half of the 6th inning, and Chris Canizero is up to face Jim Bunning. Pitches Bunning to the right side, and Bunning is off to mount up with a toss. His underhand on to Stewart in time to get Canizero trying to bunt his way on. That brings up Warren Spahn. He's been up one time and he grounded out short to first. A little soft ground ball out over second, and a mile or 2 he marked last time. Spahn's getting a hand here. That Jim Bunning. Now he returns to his position. Richie Allen's on the grass at third. Tony Taylor at second, playing one step on the rim of the outfield grass. Swinging a little number to the right side. Taken again by Bunning, and he tosses this time to Stewart. Two-away. Now Bobby Klaus is coming up. He has walked and grounded out so far. Sixth, and the Phillies are leading the Mets by a score of 1-0. We had a thriller here last night, in which the Mets won 2-1, and it's more of the same going here tonight. Pitch is in for a called strike to leadoff man Bobby Klaus. Delivery. Swung on and hit in the air to center field. 50 Rojas is there. And he makes the catch. Side is out in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. Score again to 6 full innings is the Phillies 1, the Mets nothing. Bob Murphy will be along in just a moment for the play-by-play, but right now, a word from Viceroy Cigarettes.
Viceroy's got the taste that's right. Not too strong and not too light. Taste that's right.
You get the word. It's Viceroy, a cigarette that's specifically designed to taste the way you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. If you're a filter smoker, you've already discovered some brands taste too strong, as if they didn't even have a filter. And others taste too light. You know the kind. They never seem to satisfy your taste. But do you know about Viceroy? Viceroy is not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the filter for the taste that's right. When you try them, you'll agree. Viceroy's got the taste that's right.
Viceroy's got the taste that's right. Not too strong and not too light. Taste that's right.
In the 7th inning, Wes Covington comes up against Warren Spahn. Covington drew a walk in the 2nd inning and was struck out by Spahn in the 4th inning. Now Spahn out of his windup delivers to Covington a swing and a miss on a low breaking ball. Strike one. Nobody on, nobody out. 7th inning, a 1-0 ball game. The Phillies in front. On a home run tomahawked over the right field fence by Jim Bunning. Next pitch to Covington, a ground ball on the right side. Big hop taken by Ron Hunt. He flips the ball to Cranepool, and Covington is out. 1 man away. The paid crowd tonight in Shea Stadium, 14,134. In addition, some 1,700 midget Mets who are here as guests for the ball club. A total crowd of 17,113. Now Tony Taylor up against Bonnie. A dribbler hit down the third baseline. A hurry-up attempt by Klaus. He got him. Fine fielding by Bobby Klaus. He had not a moment to waste, as Tony Taylor took a big swing and then just topped one down the third base line. So 2 up and 2 center side, and that brings up Gus Triandos. Big Gus has been struck out, line to right. Spahn winding the pitch to Triandos. In the dirt out in front of the plate, ball 1. Tomorrow the Mets have a day off. They open their 4-game series with Milwaukee on Friday night. For the Phillies, Ruben Amaro, the shortstop, is the on-deck hitter.
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. The screwball thrown by Spahn. 1 ball and 1 strike. The only run on the ball game, a home run by Jim Bunning. Now the 1-1 delivery. A squibbler hit down the first baseline. It's going foul. Big swing by Triantos. He nicked it right off the end of the bat. And it was squirming over into foul territory. Remember the new starting time for the Ladies' Day game Saturday at 2:15. The Sunday doubleheader will start at 1:05 p.m. After the Braves leave town next week, the world champion Cardinals come to Shea Stadium Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon. Then Cincinnati will be in for a weekend series of 4 games to wind up the homestand. Spahn out of his windup. The 1-2 delivery. Just got a piece of it. A foul ball going to the left. Dribbling down the third baseline, and the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peanuts Lowry coaching at first. Foghorn Myatt at third. 2 outs and nobody on in the top half of the 7th inning. Pitching 1-2. A high fly ball deep to left center. Way back goes Swoboda. He's on the track. Makes the catch. The side is out. Long fly to left center taken by Ron Swoboda. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. That is 7th inning stretch time at Shea Stadium. At the end of 6 1/2, the score, the Phillies 1 and the New York Mets nothing. If you've been wondering what Swedish Americans sing after the smorgasbord, listen to this.
Turalleri is a song that Swedish Americans sing over and over at their parties and picnics until they raise a fearful thirst. Then they change their tune. Helan Gore is a traditional Swedish drinking song, and often the beer they drink is Rheingold Extra Dry. In fact, in New York City, where there are more Swedes than in all of Husqvarna, more people drink Rheingold than any other beer. Why do Swedish Americans like Rheingold? We don't know, but we must be doing something right.
For the Phillies, Bobby Del Greco replaces Wes Covington in left field. Del Greco, an outstanding defensive ball player. That's the Phillies set now to try and protect their 1-run lead. Ron Hunt batting against Jim Bunning. Fastball over, strike 1. Bunning pitching a strong ball game has given us just 2 hits. Single to center by Johnny Lewis in the first, and an infield hit by Joe Christopher in the 5th inning. It's all over in Cleveland. Ralph Terry pitching a 3-hit shutout to win his 4th game of the year. Ralph has lost only 1, and Cleveland defeated the Yankees 4-0. Whitey Ford was the loser. Inside to Ron, 1 ball, 1 strike. The Yankee-Cleveland game, home runs were hit by Leon Wagner and Fred Whitfield with 2 men on. So Cleveland, behind Terry's 3-hitter, beat the Yankees 4-0. The White Sox lead Detroit 4-0, going to the last of the 9th in Detroit. The 1-1 pitch. A drive in the air to right field. It's deep. Back goes Johnny Callison. Back by the wall. He reaches up, makes the catch. Oh, what a play by Johnny Callison. Well, there's the play of the ball game and a beauty. Wonderful one-handed grab by Johnny Callison. He was stumbling and going right into the fence in deep right field when he made the one-hand grab. Callison, a marvelous ball player, and oh, what a catch he made on that. He took a 2-base hit away from Ron Hunt. up, and he pops the ball up. He was hit off the fifth with a good pitch by Bunning. Amaro, the shortstop, takes it for the out. 2 outs in the last of the 7th inning. Bunning has had the batters going for the first pitch a great deal. Now Eddie Cranepool will hit against Jim Bunning. Another pitching duel between two of the best, Jim Bunning and Warren Spahn. Eddie has hit into a double play and flied to center. Inside and low, 1 ball and no strike. Jim Bunning locked up with Warren Spahn. He's looking for his second win of the year. Spahn is trying to win his third. Right-hander against left-hand hitter. The pitch by Bunning. Bounced foul. He barely got a piece of it. Struck the plate umpire, John Kibler, in the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Joe Christopher timing his swing, waiting in the on-deck circle, hoping that Cranepool can save him and turn it back. The 1-1 delivery. An off-speed pitch on the outside corner. A good changeup by Bunning. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Six of the 7 games won by the Mets have been decided by the margin of 1 run. Right here, they're locking another one. The 1-2 delivery. Curve is hit late and foul. Back over the dugout, out of play. Now Jim Bunning with a count of 1-2 on Ed Cranepool. Philly outfield just about straight away. Bunning swings into his windup. Here's the pitch on the way. He went to a curve that missed the outside corner. Now the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tony Taylor now moving out about 2 steps into right field at his second base position against Cranepool. Dick Stewart. Curve is hit late and foul. Back over the dugout, out of play. Jim Bunning with a count of 1-2 on Ed Cranepool. Philly outfield just about straight away. Bunning swings into his windup. Here's the pitch on the way. He went to a curve that missed the outside corner. Now the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tony Taylor now moving out about 2 steps into right field at his second base position against Cranepool. Dick Stewart is deep behind the bag at first, almost on the rim of the outfield grass. 2-2 delivery. Ground ball hit down to first base, picked up by Stewart. He flips the Bunning covering in time for the out. The Mets are out in order in the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. Now 7 complete. The Phillies 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. The Mets no runs, 2 hits, no errors. In other games this afternoon at Wrigley Field, Bob Buell pitched a 3-hitter. And Chicago down Pittsburgh 3-1. Vern Law was the loser. The only home run in the game spoiled Buell's shutout bid. It was hit by Jim Pagliarone, the Pirate backstop. Tonight at Milwaukee, Joe Torre of Milwaukee and Rusty Staub of Houston each have hit a home run with nobody on, and that's been all of the scoring through 6.5 innings. Houston won, Milwaukee won. Turk Farrell against Wade Blassingame. It's Sandy Koufax and Jim O'Toole tonight in Cincinnati. Dodgers nothing and the Reds nothing after 1 inning. Bob Henley against Tracy Stallard in St. Louis. Giants nothing and the Cardinals nothing at the end of 1. Ralph Terry pitched a 3-hit shutout, winning his 4th game against 1 loss, as Cleveland beat Whitey Ford and the Yankees 4-0 tonight. The White Sox are leading Detroit behind Johnny Buzard, 3-0 going to the last of the ninth inning. Those are the only two American League scores in. Hit high in the air to center field by Amaro. Under the ball waiting is Ron Swoboda, and he has it for the out. Amaro hitting the first pitch, flies to center. Now that brings up Jim Bunning, and he has accounted for the only run of this ball game. Whacked one over the right field wall at the 358-foot mark near the bullpen. He just tomahawked it. That's the only run of this ball game. Spahn into his wind at the pitch to Bunning. Strike called on the outside corner of the knees. Bunning's fourth career homer in the majors, his first in the National League. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The center fielder and leadoff batter will be hitting next. Now Spahn with a 1-1 delivery. Line drive caught by Ron Hunt. Beautiful play. Well, Ron Hunt timed his leap exactly right. He went as high in the air as he possibly could and made a glove-handed grab of a hard-hit line drive by Jim Bunning. Bunning once again hitting to the opposite field, and he hit that one hard. 2 outs, nobody on. Rojas, the leadoff batter, is up. Cookie is 0 for 3, twice his fly to the outfield, and it's grounded out to third. A foul ball over behind the Mets dugout into the crowd. Winding, down comes his pitch to Rojas. Bunted fouled on the third base line. Both pitchers, I should say, have virtually been wearing the hitters on their watch chain. And as a result, we have seen a lot of attempted bunts in this game tonight. That attempt by Cookie Rojas was on the second strike. So now Spahn has a 2-strike count on Rojas. Johnny Collison on deck, and then Richie Allen. Gene Mock is getting his bullpen ready now, just in the event that Bunning should need any help. Line to the air toward the left field line. It's going to be right down the line. Foul by inches. Foul ball by inches. He narrowly missed an extra base hit. Rojas coming back. It's all over in Detroit. The White Sox, on a 4-hit shutout by Johnny Buzard, have beaten the Detroit Tigers. The final score, 4-0. White Sox started the night leading the American League by a half game over Minnesota. Detroit was 2 games back. That drops the Tigers 3 games back. Minnesota playing later tonight at home against the Orioles. So the Twins must win to remain a half game behind Chicago. And Detroit are playing a doubleheader. Hit down the right field line, a foul ball, no play. Now Spahn with a 2-strike count on Rojas. He's hit 2 foul line drives. Down comes the pitch, a ground ball hit through the hole, a base hit to left. Rojas hung in there on 2 strikes and fouled 2 off. And now gets a base hit on a ground shot through the hole to left field. Phillies have their 4th hit of the ball game. St. Louis Cardinals, the world champions of baseball, come to Shea Stadium next Tuesday night. The New York Baseball Writers will present the Babe Ruth Award to Bob Gibson of the Cardinals as the top World Series star of 1965 in the pregame ceremonies. It's actually the series of 64. Last October. Now Johnny Callison hitting against Warren Spahn, 2 outs and 1 on, top of the 8th inning. Philadelphia 1, New York nothing. Throw to first. He's back in time. Pretty close play at first base as Warren Spahn went to work on Cookie Rojas, a fast man. Throw to first with real intent, not quite in time. He's figuring in this spot with 2 outs and a fast man on that Gene Mott will put a play on. With Callison, a right field batter at the plate. Now Spahn into the stop position. Throw to first. And again he is back. 3rd time in a row that Warren has thrown over to Cranepool. Now Johnny Callison is out of the box for a moment. Now he's back in. Now the pitch, and he pops it up on the right side of the infield. Ron Hunt calling for it on the skin part of the diamond, makes the catch to side to side. So Spanny eliminates a tough hitter and retires to side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. At the end of 7 1/2 innings to score, the Phillies won and the New York Mets nothing. If you heat your home with oil, here's something worth thinking about.
Think of carefree heat.
Think Shell.
Carefree heat.
Think of Shell.
Heating oil for your home.
That he's spotless-free as well.
Think of carefree heat.
Think Shell. Think of Shell.
To prove our point about carefree heat, we're going to make a confession. Shell isn't selling everyone the same heating oil. In fact, Shell is purposely selling over 10 different kinds. Each is blended specially for a different part of the country. The Shell heating oil you can buy is blended specially for your area to help your burner provide carefree heat. And you thought all heating oil was the same? For carefree heat next winter, call a Shell heating oil distributor now. He's in the Yellow Pages, under oil heating, of course.
Heating oil for your home.
That he's spotless-free as well.
Think of carefree heat.
Think Shell. Think of Shell. Think of Shell.
Joe Christopher stepping in against Jim Bunning. New Yorker run behind, and the crowd really coming to life. Down comes the pitch. Check swing grounder picked up by Jim Bunning. He caught that one in behind his body, a la Bob Cousy, and threw to first in time for the out. Bunning was out of position, and I don't know how yet he managed to do it, but he stuck his glove in behind his legs and snagged the little tap back to the mound. Right here we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
810 on your dial, WGY Schenectady, the smoothest sound around, the voice of the Mets in the great Northeast.
Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kiner. Ron Swoboda is up against Bunning. Ball 1, it's outside. Ron is lined out to center field, reached on a fielder's choice, and later was picked off base by Bunning. The Phillies lead 1-0 on Bunning's right field home run. And we're in the last of the 8th inning. A line shot hit toward left center field, a base hit. Running the ball down on the run is Bobby Del Greco, and he'll hold him to a single. Good fielding by Bobby Del Greco, who was inserted for Wes Covington as a defensive move. That ball was really hit by Swoboda, a line shot to left center. Now Roy McMillan is the scheduled hitter, but Roy is being called back to the dugout. We're going to get a pinch hitter for McMillan. Jesse Gander is going out to talk to Jim Bunning, and Jesse Gander is coming out of the dugout as the pinch hitter. Jesse Gander is coming out to bat for McMillan. That line shot to left center by Swoboda. The third hit given up by Jim Bunning. Tremendous pitching in this ball game tonight between Bunning and Spahn. Mets now have warm-up action in their bullpen in the event Casey should want to send out a pinch hitter for Warren Spahn. Although Spahn is a real good hitter for a pitcher, and usually he gets to stay in. Now Jesse Gounder is batting for Roy McMillan. Ron Swoboda is on first. And he'll be keeping an eye on Bunning. He was picked off his last time. Serve is low. 1 ball and no strikes. Jim Beskey is on call in the bullpen for New York. Right-handers Ray Culp and Jack Balshin for Philadelphia. Phillies had a brilliant relief effort by Roebuck in the game last night. Slow curve outside and low, ball 2. Now it's 2 balls and no strikes on Gounder. 1 out and 1 on. New York trailing 1-0, bottom half of the 8th inning. Dick Stewart holding against base runner Ron Swoboda. Here's the stretch by Bunning. Now the pitch. Ground ball hit down the first base line. A fair ball. Bunning picks it up, throws to Stewart in time to get Gounder, and Swoboda moves over to second. So Jesse was fooled by the pitch. He took a big swing. Chopped the slow roller. He moves the runner over, and Yogi is down around the bat rack. Yogi Berra will be coming out to hit. Yogi comes off the coaching line. Into the dugout to get his bat. Wes Western moves out to the coaching line. Well, many of the crowd are standing here at Shea Stadium waiting for Yogi to come out of the dugout. Yogi's picking out his bat and getting the helmet, and here he comes, Yogi Berra. Bobbled the grounder, but recovered in time to flip the ball to Jim Bunning for the 3rd out. So in the last of the 8th inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. And at the end of 8 innings, the score, the Phillies 1 and the New York Mets 0. So we'll be going to the 9th inning of a 1-0 pitching thriller between Jim Bunning and Warren Spahn. The only run in this ball game, a 6th inning home run by Jim Bunning, right-handed batter who hit it over the right field fence near the bullpen. Tickets for the remaining games of this homestand and all home games of the New York Mets are on sale at the advanced sale window here at Shea Stadium. The advanced sale window is open during the week from 8 to 6 and on the weekends for your added convenience, Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 5. The Mets also have ticket locations at the Long Island Railroad waiting room at Penn Station and at Grand Central Terminal at the foot of the 42nd Street and Vanderbilt Avenue ramp. During the week, from 8 to 6 and on Saturdays, 8:30 to 4. During the regular store hours, the Mets have tickets on sale at Macy's in the Walt Whitman Shopping Center in Huntington, Long Island. Reservations can be made for all box and reserve seats for all remaining home games at all Howard Clothes stores in the greater New York area. Now, as we go to the 9th inning, Spahn will be pitching to Richie Allen, Dick Stewart, and Bobby Del Greco. Changes in the lineup now for New York. Jim Hickman is now playing third, and Bobby Klaus moves to short. to see who takes over the catching. Gonder was used as a pinch hitter. And then Yogi Berra batted for Chris Canizero. So either Gonder or Berra or even possibly Hawk Taylor. The Mets right now have 4 catchers.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Now playing shortstop for the Mets.
But Bobby Klaus moves from third over to short. And Jim Hickman is now playing third, and it's Gonder taking over behind the plate.
Batting 7th, number 12, Jesse Gonder, number 12.
So Jim Hickman
Now playing third base for the Mets,
is batting in Chris Canizero's spot in the batting order.
Jim Hickman, number 9.
Ninth inning, Gonder out of the mound talking with Warren Spahn. Richie Allen will lead off in the ninth with Philadelphia in front, 1-0. Spawning into his windup, delivers to Richie Allen. A ground ball whacked to short. Big hop for Bobby Klaus. He strides and throws, and they have him by 2 running strides. One away and nobody on. Top of the ninth. Coming up to hit now is Dick Stewart. Dick has 1 hit and 3 times up, but he has hit the ball long throughout the game. He had a fly ball to deep center caught and a fly ball to deep left to put Christopher right up against the fence. One out and nobody on in the ninth. Spahn out of his windup. The pitch to Stewart. A strike on the inside corner about letter high. Bobby Del Greco, who replaced Wes Covington in left field, is now in the on-deck circle. Bobby Klaus over deep in the hole at short against Stewart. Inside, pressing him back. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Mets in their 9th inning will have Spahn leading off. Then Bobby Klaus and Ron Hunt. 1-1 delivery. A drive hit hard toward the alley in right center. Lewis racing over is there. Makes the catch. Johnny Lewis racing to right center to spear the liner. So Dick Stewart, who's hit the ball long throughout the game, is now 1 for 4. This will be Bobby Del Greco's first time up in the game. Bobby Del Greco has never hit the ball for a high average in the big leagues, but he is strong. He has good power. Bobby Del Greco has been up just 3 times. Strike called on the outside corner. Bobby has lived out of a suitcase during his career. Now the pitch by Spahn off the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. He has always been considered one of the best defensive outfielders around. Now Spahn delivers 1-1. A strike on the inside corner to Del Greco. Mets will go to Philadelphia for the first time this year at the tail end of their next road trip. Their next road trip will be a shorter trip. They'll make only 3 stops: Milwaukee, St. Louis, and Philadelphia. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. Warren Spahn with the screwball strikes out Bobby Del Greco. In the 9th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. Another superb effort by Warren Spahn. At the end of 8.5 innings to score, the Phillies won and the Mets nothing. Can you imagine a Puerto Rican party without music? Don't try. Just listen to this.
Temporal is a song Puerto Ricans sing over and parties and picnics until they raise a fearful thirst. Then they change their tune. This Choreao is the song a Puerto Rican drinks to. He'll sit down, call for a beer, probably Rheingold extra dry. In fact, in New York City, where there are more Puerto Ricans than in all of San Juan, more people drink Rheingold than any other beer. And Rheingold is going great in New Jersey, New England, and Pennsylvania, too. Why do Puerto Ricans like Rheingold? We don't know. But we must be doing something right.
Now playing first, and Bobby Wine is in the game as short. Warren Spahn stays in, leads off for the Mets, bottom of the ninth inning. Jim Bunning with a 1-0 lead is into his windup. Now the pitch. Inside and high, it's ball one. Each of these outstanding pitchers has given up just one walk in the game. Bunning has struck out 2, Spahn has struck out 4. Phillies have 1 run, 4 hits. The Mets no runs and 3 hits. The last of the ninth, and the pitch to Spahn. Too high, it's ball 2. Gene Mock has kept his bullpen busy the last 2 innings, just in the event any help is needed. Relief ace Jack Balshin is warming up out there now. Pitching 2-0. Foul ball whacked right straight back up into the crowd. No play. It's 2-1 on Spahn. Bobby Klaus on deck, and then Ron Hunt. This is the 4th superb ball game that Warren Spahn has pitched. He beat the Dodgers and beat the Giants in thrillers on the West Coast. Now the count is 2-1. Bunning delivers. A swing and a miss, and the count is even, 2-2. Bunning is trying for his second victory and his second shutout. He shut out the Astros for his first win this year. 2 strikes on Spahn as Bunning takes his sign from Gus Triano. Now the windup, the 2-2 delivery. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. Spahn fanned by Jim Bunning. He came from behind to get him. Now 1 out and nobody on in the last of the ninth inning. Bobby Klaus is the scheduled hitter. Now Bobby is being called back into the dugout. Looks like Danny Napoleon around the bat rack, and Danny Napoleon is coming out to hit for Bobby Klaus. Mets in need of the long ball here to tie up the game in case he is sending strong Danny Napoleon to the plate. Danny with 3 hits and 8 times at bat, hitting .375. Thrill of winning a ball game for New York out on the West Coast. He tripled in the ninth inning at San Francisco, driving 3 runs in to win one for New York. Danny from Trenton, New Jersey. Well-built right-hand batter. They play him deep, a little toward left. Pitch by Bunning is over. Strike called in the outside corner. Of the ninth inning, 1-0. The Phillies lead on Bunning's home run. Now the pitch to Napoleon is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now Napoleon lashing the bat around, waiting on Bunning. The 1-1 pitch. Outside, it's ball 2, 2-1. He trying to pitch away from Danny Napoleon to keep him from pulling the ball to left field. Ron Hunt is on deck, and then Johnny Lewis. Mets trying hard to get it going against Bunning here in the bottom half of the ninth. The 2-1 pitch. Strike on the outside corner. He was in the black with that one. He really shaved the outside edge of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Napoleon gets out of the batter's box. Last night, the Mets behind Jackson beat the Phillies 2-1. Right now, it's a 1-0 game, and we're in the last of the 9th inning. Pitching 2-2. Curve, strike 3 call. Bunning broke that one like it was rolling off the end of a table, right over the heart of the plate at the knees. So Jim Bunning, who had struck out 2 men over the first 8 innings, has struck out the first 2 men up in the last half of the 9th inning. Play of the game was made on Ron his last time up. A great play by Johnny Callison. He took a double away from Hunt. Fastball over, strike 1 call. Callison raced all the way back on the track and going right into the wall, reached over his head and made a one-hand grab of the long drive hit by Hunt. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball, strike 2 call. And the Mets are pinned down to their final strike here. Bunning with a 2-strike advantage on Ron Hunt. Only twice have the Mets had a runner as far as second base in the game. Never have they had a runner as far as third. Here's the windup, 2-strike delivery. Reach for a blooper into short right field. It's going to drop in, a base hit. Ron Hunt lunging at a curveball. He went right with it and hit a soft liner into short right center for a base hit. Now the tying run is on, and Johnny Lewis is coming up. Crowd staying right with it. Mets were down to their final strike when Ron Hunt got the base hit on the soft liner over the head of Tony Taylor. Johnny Lewis has singled to center, but out on a bunt attempt and popped to short, 1 for 3. Each team now has 4 hits in the game. Here's the pitch to Lewis. Foul ball back over the upright screen into the crowd. No play. Eddie Cranepool is the on-deck batter. Ron Hunt, a good base runner. Mets in need of a long hit to tie up the ball game. They're down to their final out at the last of the 9th inning. Bunning slowing down the pace just a little bit. Now takes his sign from Triando. He's up in the stop position. Throws to first. He just lobbed it over there. Ruben Amaro is now playing first. He relieved Dick Stewart. Bobby Wine is the shortstop. Johnny Lewis waiting. In comes the pitch. It's over. Strike 2 call. Lewis started to go, held up on it, and it was over. So now Johnny Lewis is in the same spot Ron Hunt was in just moments ago. Bunning has him 2 strikes. The pitching slab. Ron Hunt with a short lead off first. A 2-strike count on Johnny Lewis. Here's the pitch on the way. He held up in time, and it's inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bunning thought he had him struck out. He threw him a great changeup. He changed up on a curve that was inside, and Johnny Lewis held up just in the nick of time. Everybody in the Phillies dugout jumping on that one. They thought the game was over. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Johnny Lewis. Johnny has one of the 4 hits Bunning has given up. by Bunning. He lobs it over to first base. And now Johnny Lewis goes back to the on-deck circle to get the pine tar cloth to tighten up that bat-handle grip. Phillies 1, Mets nothing, last of the ninth inning. 2 outs, the tying run on first. Now Bunning is looking in. Lewis cocks the bat. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. The ball game is over. Bunning fans, Johnny Lewis, and the Phillies win it 1-0. As Bunning struck out 3 in the last of the ninth inning to nail down a beautifully pitched ball game. In the ninth inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. Well, it was a magnificent pitching duel between Warren Spahn and Jim Bunning. Bunning winning his own ball game with a home run over the right field fence in the 6th inning. It was Bunning's first National League home run. He could not have picked a more opportune moment. Bunning was leading off in the top of the 6th inning when he tomahawked his home run over the right field fence into the Mets bullpen. After that, Warren Spahn then retired the side, but Bunning then went to the mound and made that 1 run stand up. Each pitcher walked only 1 man. Spahn walked only 1. He struck out 4. Bunning had struck out only 2 over the first 8 innings, but finishing strong, he struck out 3 in the last of the 9th inning, so he wound up with 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. The Lions score in the ball game for the Phillies: 1 run, 4 hits. There were no errors. The Phils had only 4 left on base. For the New York Mets, no runs, 4 hits. There were no errors. And the Mets had just 3 left on. The winning pitcher is Jim Bunning. Jim winning his 2nd game of the year against 3 losses. Both of his wins have been shutouts. His first victory this year, he shut out the Houston Astros. For Warren Spahn, the 4th time he has turned in a superb mound effort. Warren losing the toughest kind of a ball game to lose, 1-0. So Spahn now has won 2 and lost 2. Both of Spahny's victories were 1-run thrillers on the West Coast against the Dodgers and the Giants. He had a superb pitching performance against Houston at Shea Stadium, and now tonight against the Philadelphia Phils. And so the Phils, by winning behind Bunning's 4-hitter and Bunning's home run to right field in the 6th inning, gain a split in the 2-game series. The Mets winning last night 2-1 behind Alvin Jackson. No game tomorrow. It's an off day for the New York Mets. They'll be in action on Friday night, opening a big weekend of baseball here at Shea Stadium with the first of a 4-game series against the Milwaukee Braves. Remember the starting time on Saturday, which is Ladies' Day, the new Saturday starting time of 2:15. And the doubleheader on Sunday gets underway here at Shea Stadium at 1:05. So tonight, the Phils win it. They gain a split of the 2-game series, and the final score once again, the Phils won, and the New York Mets, nothing. Tonight's game was brought to you by Rheingold, New York City's largest selling beer. And what a remarkable thing that is. In New York, a city of so many different tastes, one beer has become the favorite: Rheingold Extra Dry. Now, we don't know why so many people like our beer, but, well, we must be doing something right, and we'll keep right on doing it. Tonight's game was also brought to you by Viceroy. Not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the filter for the taste that's right. And by the Shell Oil Company, makers of Super Shell, the gasoline for good mileage. Stop at the clean white pump for Super Shell.
Here on baseball land, there are no fans so grand as our Mets fans. When we play other teams, no one blood-curdling screams that our Mets fans.
But when Mets fans shout, "Go!"
What they mean, we all know. We've got no place to go.
Now be with us Friday night at 7:55 as the New York Mets meet the Milwaukee Braves. Our engineer tonight has been Sandy Alper, our statistician Matt Winnick. Our producer, Joe Gallagher, and our executive producer, Joel Nixon. The final score, the Philadelphia Phillies 1, and the New York Mets, nothing. Now this is Bob Murphy saying so long for Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kiner. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
Don't sign your name. It would be a shame until you see your Bumstead man. Until you see your Bumstead man.